After flood, you can imagine that it's not the medical care that are the main thing. It's for people to have food and to have clean water. I'm Dr. Axel Rons. I'm an emergency coordinator for the emergency pool of MSF. At this stage, when a catastrophe just happened, we have a kind of usual materials that we want to send to treat the people, especially also to treat the water. And then we have all this material ready to go. Now we have to find a place for it to land, as close as possible to the place. At the beginning you have the people who died, and with this one we cannot do anything anymore excepting dealing with the dead management bodies. And you have the people who are injured by the building who crashed, etc. For those one, after we will treat the bad injury and giving some vaccine to avoid them to get tetanus. And after, the other thing is more linked to the disruption of the usual health care system. If you do not have clean water, you will bring some disease. It's not the flood itself that will bring you to medical activity, it's more all the condition, living condition after that, and the fact that you need to have clean water, you need to have a proper shelter. If not, then we will face respiratory infection, diarrhea, all disease related with water, not clean water, all disease related with no sanitation, and after all disease linked with a vector like mosquito breeding in this new clean water coming with the rain, and it means malaria, dengue, leptospirose, yellow fever, and all these kind of disease that you have usually like 4 weeks after the big rains. It's maybe also something that we have to put quite high in the medical care, because people lose everything. They are facing dead member of their family, and we have to take that into account, not like a second step, but at the really beginning also. After the cyclone Matthew, we could find that you had a lot of villages that were isolated, and then they had no more way to go and find food, water, and so on. That what we did is we put on a donkey a lot of chlorine tablets and some biscuit and some tarpaulin, because in fact what the people expect in this situation is really to have clean water to drink, to put something on the roof that was broken to be safe, to sleep in a safe place, and also some food. If they usually the first day they can still find food remaining, but after maybe it's missing. You will not face problem with malnutrition within the first weeks, but you really have to put in place surveillance system to look at the nutrition status and if there is any degradation of this. And the same for the disease. It's really important to do this surveillance after, to detect quite fast and be able to react quite fast to any kind of outbreaks that could happen after. Like if you have an unusual increased number of watery diarrhea, and we are in an area when we get cholera before, yeah, maybe we should be worried about that. If we start to have too many bloody diarrhea, maybe we have an epidemic. Usually where it happens, it's not our language or our culture, and we really try to hire as soon as possible people from the area or from the community. But this is a bit the difficult part at the beginning. It's these people are also shocked, and they maybe need first to be treated or to be taken in charge before being able to work with us. But the idea is really to hire them and to reach the community, to explain why we are here for, what we can bring to them, and especially when you do kind of distribution or bringing them this tablet to chlorinate the water, you also have to explain how to use it and where they can go if they have any kind of disease starting. And then it's why we need to have as soon as possible people from the area to work with us.